Choking is the most common accident that happens to children at home.
Most of the scenarios we've gotten or calls that we've received are majorly because of air obstruction, which you normally call choking, because of feeding, children playing with toys, small foods, those things.
Home.
The first thing to show that you're choking is actually a cough. It may be a cough that is strong or weak. Now, that's the first reflex, because the airway is just in the airway, and the cough is trying to exhale the objects out. So one thing is coughing. Now the coughing, it progresses if the airway becomes more obstructed, which we call now complete obstruction. They're not able to cough anymore. But you'll see on the eyes, they are tearing and bulging eyes. They'll be holding their neck, and trying to do this, what we call the universal choking sign. And some of them, you'll see they were actually eating, so there is that history of having been eating, or they're being fed for infants. Then number two, you'll see that they're playing with some small objects. So basically from that, then you can gather information the child is actually choking.
Most people tend to panic when an infant chokes, but there are some precautions that should be taken when this happens to dislodge a stuck object from an infant's airwaves.
Choking should be a very simple way to relieve or dislodge the object from the airway. So for example, if I'm talking about an infant who is choking, the first thing I need to do is, if this is my infant, so probably they'll be brought to me, the child is choking, hey, help me. So the first thing I take the child, just look at the child in the mouth, probably to see if there is any obvious obstruction. So of course you have to be on a better position. So for example, I need to sit on a chair that is strong enough to support the child. Then once I look at the mouth, I see there's an obstruction and the child cannot be able to cough, then I just hold the child that way. Then with my hand, so the head is lower than the body, so that there's gravity to exhale the object from coming out. Then you give 5 back slabs between what you call the scalpel blades or the collarbones. So for the people who may not understand that, so you give up to 5. So it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you flip over the child and just look at the airway. Is there anything you can't see? You do what we call chest thrusts, and you do up to 5. So you give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if there's any obvious obstruction. You can see it. If you can't see it again, you do that. So we'll keep on doing this. Up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checking them out. So we'll keep on doing this activity until the object comes out or the child becomes unresponsive. So it's the activity of hitting the back that dislodges the object from the airway of the child. And this is a skill every single mother or even healthcare giver should learn, because then this is the only way you're able to save this child. Otherwise, should you not do it, then you will be panicking, and I've seen people do some other things which are necessarily not going to help the child, because what you need is that object out. So that forceful activity is going to do that. Now, if you're lucky enough and you see the object is here, you may have to use the small finger to try and remove it. So you go down and hook it up and remove it. Otherwise, it's not advisable to do what we call blind finger sweeps. Don't just put your finger in the mouth and try to look for objects in the mouth of the child. That's not acceptable. So basically, is that is going to help the child. That's for an infant. When they become unresponsive, then that's become another story. So you have to put the child on a hard surface. Now we'll do what we call chest compressions, which we call CPR. So I'll hold the child and now do 30 compressions and what we call give 2 attempted breath. So I try to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then if you've got a pocket mask at home, because basically you may not have this, but you can have a pocket mask, which is something like this. And this actually is something everyone can have in the house. So you have your pocket mask because you want to give breath to a child or any other person who has collapsed. Then with that, I'll just come with it, if it's that case, then open the patient's airway and give my 2 breath. 1 and 2. Now, if the child is choking, you don't expect the chest to rise because then the airway is obstructed. But however, you may push the object. One good thing is if you go in and go into one of the lungs, which is a good thing because then you can take it to the hospital. This one lung is going to surveillate the patient. Then they go to the hospital. So you call the ambulance to take the patient to the hospital, then to be reviewed. So basically after this, even if the child becomes well, you'll have to be taken to the hospital to be reviewed by a specialist.